what's up, delicious hot dogs given to you by a man who cusses too much? Welcome to Pod Minutes to Cast Night. That was a fast reference. The hot dog guy here is great, but he cusses too much.
Hey, what time is Inside Baseball on tonight?
Do you want me to not do that?
No, you can do it. I'm just futzing with you.
Okay, I can do something else.
No, I'm rubbing your ribs, baby.
Yeah.
It's staying.
I love the way you rub my ribs.
Yeah.
Don't vape in my face.
Yeah, we can't. This is Airbnb. You can't be vaping in here.
It's in Florida.
Touche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's the thing is Florida is like Vegas, but instead of cigarettes, it's vaping.
Yeah, instead of money ruling everything, alligators do. The alligator is king.
It's true. It's everywhere. It is straight up like they're very proud of alligators here.
They
we were talking
love
about
alligators so
A really
much.
funny thing that happened to us is that we were trying to find gator to eat, but everything here is just called gator. So like a gator burger doesn't have alligator in it. It's just everything is, it's like Famous Ray's. You can't eat Ray at Famous Ray's. Also, we're here in Florida.
Yeah, we're here in Florida, and we're going to do an episod about it. But that's not why we're here right now.
Nope.
No.
We're here right now to talk about 2 Minutes to Late Night, episode 6.
No, 4.
I know, but it's also 6. Season 1, episode 4. Start today with Hard Melissa.
Yes.
We were gonna have Shauna for more on women, but it's fest, and sometimes you get hungover.
Sometimes you get too hungover to have yourself recorded, and that's
That's
happens.
completely fair and fine, and actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be laying on the floor while we do this if we weren't all sitting on my bed.
Which is a couch.
What do you guys remember about
The start today, filming or the writing or
just everything
about it?
I remember we had to film this month, and we ran into like a scheduling conflict with the Mutoid Boys because they had to do
Something.
I forget.
Yeah, I don't remember
forget
what it was.
exactly what it was, but they did like they did the mini European tour, and they couldn't shoot that month. Because the big thing about this episode is Drew and I had always talked that we weren't going to do like a studio version of the show without Mutoid Man. It just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to get around it. And then I thought up, what if we did an episode where it's Hard Melissa hosting, and then War on Women would be the house band. And I could reach out
we knew War on Women because of Kevin Titt. Our friend, comedian Kevin Titt, knew War on Women and had them on his Punk House show.
I mean, also, you and I just knew them as a band.
We knew them as a band. I was a huge fan of them for a long time before this.
We reached out to them, and then I remember I talked to Jeremy, and I remember you had the vision for it being like kind of a morning show.
Yes,
thing.
yeah. Just kind of thinking about it as like, if Hard Melissa hosting is the opposite of Guarcinio hosting, then what's the opposite of the show is like it's a late night show, so it's a daytime show.
Yeah.
And then I started like cramming episodes of Ellen. I was just watching so much Ellen for like a solid week. And it's not easy to find, like, at the time, I guess, like Ellen clips weren't really big on YouTube yet. So it's like really hard to find what that aesthetic was.
Real quick, fuck Ellen. Go back to this.
Yeah. And I tried to make like a 3D graphic thing for the Start Today logo that ended up not working because none of us know how to do 3D graphic stuff.
Yeah, including you. I still don't know how you did it. You sent me this thing and you're like, here you go. And it was like...
It was a GIF. I made a GIF of the logo spinning and I was like, put that in. And you're like, I don't what?
Yeah, you can't put a GIF in video. It's like, here, I wrote this letter to the president. Can you throw it at the moon for me? Like, what the fuck did you do?
I'm obsessed with morning shows because I think they're so psychotic, and so I was very excited at this premise when it was pitched to me, especially because the irony of a lot of morning shows is they're angled towards a female audience. So I like the idea of this like kind of woman version of our show being like the anti-morning show, and the only reason that Hard Melissa has it is because she's the only one that has her shit together enough to like be at St. Vitus in the afternoon.
Yeah. That was a big part of it, was that the reason why Hard Melissa got this show is she's the only person Guarcinio knows who wakes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. The funniest thing too about this show is that we were like, how do we make it look like the morning, even though we shoot this indoors at night with no with no visible sunlight? So like, let's make it blue instead of purple.
Yeah, and we put like plants on stage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we had to make like a Gavin set. I always think of that Mr. Show sketch where they go, "It's Mr. Show in the morning," and where all the men are at work, and like that's just like the thing that kept ringing in my head.
The thing that I like the most about this episode too is that like we always kind of knew that if we were gonna do a season or just like keep doing episodes, we were very like we've been watching TV for so long that we all have like season 2 brains where it's the craziest ideas possible, and so like for this to be like episode 4 of something is pretty wild because it's such a dramatic change. But I love that we really broke away from like what we had been doing to make it different, which I think is pretty bold.
Honestly, the crowd was fucking psyched on this episode beyond anything I've seen beyond before this. Because don't get me wrong, our fans are like, they love the show and stuff, but as we discussed in the other commentaries, it's like these shoots are grueling, and so it's sometimes hard to like get enthusiastic because you've been sitting there for 2 hours, and this crowd was just like fucking lit.
Yeah. They were just excited to shout. I think there was more interactive shouting.
Yeah.
Spots, you know?
I think this might be, for me, the most successful execution of a vision that we had the whole season.
Yeah.
Like from like idea to the way it turned out, I think this is the one that ended up the most like what we pictured it as, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like
yeah.
I think this one, like it reads as a daytime show. Like all the jokes work really well together. Everything kind of like just came together. For
Well,
this
and
one
like
in a cool
there's
way.
so many like things in this that I feel like just play to each of our individual strengths. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? As
Yeah.
just like a creative team as opposed to like performers or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it almost has like there are people distinctly in here who are almost a like an analog for our like writing input for the show.
Yeah.
Where like I feel like 2005 Scene Kid is like my like it's just like
Well, I feel like that's like that was your baby, but I feel like that's you and me a lot.
Yeah.
Because that's like every single one of our Long Island like scene traumas put into one character.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like giving him that like I don't know. 2005 Scene Kid is probably my favorite character of the show.
Yeah, Andy Bustillos is the best. He's at my apartment right now making sure my cats don't die.
I remember figuring out who was going to play 2005 C Kid was like in the writing room was like a real like trying to figure it out. And I remember
We just had such a vision, but like once
Yeah, he had a
I remember-
California
I like-
accent. When
Well,
we
I
would
came
do the
in-
reads, he had a California accent.
Yeah, I remember but I had to like come in with like a campaign speech for like why it should be Andy Bustillos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he ended up being amazing. You're
He
right.
fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I think
like how
the-
much he brought to what was already like a really good, well-written.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all the head bobs and just all his like
Yeah.
little physical things that he
His
had
like
in it.
the time that he high fives himself, I still laugh every time I see
Yeah.
him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did such a good job.
Also, I just think like this was really fun because we've had the Hard Melissa character, and like Emily's so good at improvising stuff, but like writing for her as a character was really fun for me. I think it was fun for everybody, and also having her input on stuff was really amazing because her instincts
Yeah.
are so strong.
Yeah, it's not that Emily isn't normally involved. She just sort of she has her own life and her own thing, and so
And she's a performer
Yeah.
more than like
Yeah. Well,
this
in
episode
her role in this.
This
show.
episode she sat down and we actually like we wrote it together. We
Yeah.
spent
Well, we
probably-
wrote the episode and then we went and we rewrote it with
at her
better
house.
fit
We went to her
voice.
house
Yeah.
and wrote it. Yeah.
What I think that this episode, I think there are other episodes that also feel like they succeed at what we're trying to do. I think the difference is in this one is because Hard Melissa is a different character and the show is not falling apart. Like this is the only episode of 2 Minutes to Late Night where the gimmick is not falling apart.
That's
before
true.
our
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
So I think that's why it feels that way. Is we did not write it to collapse.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair.
And I think that's I think it's that makes it really fun, but I think it works.
It's a different thing.
It's a completely different thing because Emily, like, we're building a world for a character who is full of like confidence and makes everything work.
Yeah, we wrote an actual monologue. So we don't usually give you like a late night monologue in the traditional sense where you talk about current events and stuff, but we went like straight, like if this was our Jimmy Fallon packet bullshit.
Yeah.
And I remember like looking up, there was like a subreddit or something where I found like goofy headlines, and I was like, all right, well, this is what we're writing the monologues
Yeah, we
about.
needed just like evergreen headlines. The idea was like, what would it be like if Jimmy Fallon was evil? That was basically the idea.
Totally.
Yeah.
We should get into this.
Let's get into
do
it.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Folks at home, if you're a psychopath and you're listening to this without watching it on YouTube, get ready to start the video in 5, 4, 2, 1.
Live from St. Vitus in Brooklyn, New York. It starts today with her and Melissa.
Dude.
I love how unhinged Shauna looks at the beginning.
I know.
Rules.
Really?
You're going to get feedback in the mic.
This intro is so lit. The audience went fucking crazy.
Also, the fun thing about the Hard Melissa theme song is it's written by Travis Richter from first to last.
Yeah, Spinning Sun was the thing that I made. But I had it like spinning on like...
And Nadia.
I remember us trying to think of funny, like, palling around bullshit that we could do for the intro.
Yeah.
There was... We did almost all of them.
Yeah, I just want to point out really quick that like when I was making the graphics, I was like very intently trying to figure out how do we make it look like a morning show, and I realized that Ellen doesn't even try. It's just lowercase, like Helvetica font.
Start today, the only show brought to you by Spite. Wendy Williams, you've had it too good for too long.
Yeah.
We used to, there was a longer
Put
Wendy
your stupid
Williams.
hands together for my house band, War on Women.
Man, these riffs are so good.
They're a good band.
Thank you, Melissa, so much for having us, but I have to ask, where did you get all these Deadpool cosplayers?
Oh, we're dicks.
What are you doing, a Dream Theater DVD giveaway?
All right, take it easy, all right? Don't make fun of my audience.
I
They
love
pay
shitting on
$5
Dream
to be
Theater,
here.
you guys.
Yeah.
That microwave is actually the microwave that's in
More
the basement of
likely
St.
their
Vitus
mom
for
did.
some reason.
That's the one that
Yeah,
we
they
got
do
the
look like
hand
that.
mug out
Yep.
of.
Yep.
All right, settle down. I'm going to do a
No, that's a
monologue
different
now.
one.
In a study done about global warming, a bunch of fucking snow doctors
Snow
figured out
doctors.
that the damage done to the polar ice
Yeah.
caps is irreversible. But honestly, I'm not so sure, because like my homegirl, Sheila Shitrek, she cut her own bangs, and I thought that shit was
Sheila
irreversible.
Shitrek.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
love
not.
an
I drove
SS.
back.
I love...
We don't like SS that
No,
much.
not that,
Cops
but
aren't allowed to
an
have sex
acronym.
with
Oh, is that the actual honorable sword behind her, too?
Yes.
That's the honorable sword, and that's also the helmet that Kyle Kinane wore.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never get tired of the endless, like, fake family names we make for...
Yeah.
This
All
was
right, shut up.
Unplanned.
an
A
organic.
dying woman in
Fuck
France
off.
called emergency services who told her everybody dies. And in other news, I just got a job in French emergency services.
I tried to get her
love-
so hard to say wee wee bitches after that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
she would not.
An informal study in
Where
the
does Hard
UK
Melissa
found that it's
begin and
quicker to
Emily
get
Panic
cocaine
end?
delivered
No
to your
one
house than
knows.
a fresh pizza.
Oui, oui.
My
Yeah,
trick
oui.
is
Yeah,
to
French.
order both and then do blow until the pizza
In
gets
France.
I'm just kidding, I don't eat pizza. All right, here's the real fucking news. My boy Jeff T-shirt says that if you hold your breath in the
Jeff
dark,
T-shirt.
I've been
you
trying to
die.
get Jeff
But
T-shirt.
one of our audience members tried it and he's dead. The good news is that he did win a NutriBullet. But fuck you, Jeff, you're
That's a
wrong,
coffee
and you
table
paid for the
covered in
blender.
stickers. I remember it was a really big deal because we couldn't find a coffee table and no one wanted to
All
give
right,
up.
we have to take a quick
No one wanted their
commercial
coffee
break,
table
but when we
covered
come
in
back,
stickers.
a
Yep.
panel
Yeah.
of hot teen fashions for
We
the
finally
girl.
got it.
Mostly
Not
my
fucking
stickers.
I still have not gotten that Motorhead.
Guys, we
back
don't
from-
hate sleep. That was just Rob's T-shirt.
Yeah, Rob just wears a lot of sleep.
Yeah,
You may
that's
recognize him
literally-
as the guy who ate the chicken.
Oh my god.
Hardcore family members.
Me and Jeremy as lovers.
Yeah.
For dinner.
Don't yell at me, Mom.
Also, we only had 2 Bane hoodies, and so one of those is a Have Heart hoodie that's covered up.
Yep.
Also, this is Jeremy Kapowitz, who just recently did stand-up as Jerry Seinfeld, making fun of having a 17-year-old girlfriend.
So funny.
And he's
He
famous.
likes me, but
I love
I'm
Jeremy.
worried when I get out of the pit, I'm gonna
Both Jeremys.
stink.
I like both Jeremys.
You gotta throw on a scent.
Well, maybe it's time we finally had to talk about Whiplash by Black.
I love that we accidentally made a bro house by borrowing some bro's house.
Yeah. Grease paint and aftershave. And if you don't like it, tell him he's got a problem with you and your crew. We're a family.
I remember, I had to write several versions of the Family Matters.
John Rosenberger.
Yeah.
Family.
Rob again, Andy.
Family.
Jimmy.
Ginny. I love that shot.
Hey,
It's so good.
don't forget your roots, kid.
And everybody look at Ginny the dog. Look at Ginny.
Look at Ginny.
There it is.
So good.
Good.
So good.
I love that sketch. It's so stupid.
Shauna's scream in this like haunts me.
The fake pant run we made.
Welcome back to Start Today with Hard Melissa, the only show with the balls to give everybody.
This
in
is
the
such a
audience
beautiful
melee
shot. Look how beautiful.
No, seriously, look under your chairs. There's weapons.
Looks like we're shooting it in a
Yes.
rainforest cafe.
My wife.
It's to do.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I tried
He's
to
in a
make
Greek
things
man called,
interesting. Also, I'm Sonia
Semaphores.
Nessie. Fuck you.
Yep. Semaphore.
And now it's time to talk some
Getting
shit.
all those
Remember,
weapons was so
there
fun,
are
and I
questions
still have
and
that
there are
baton, so
people.
don't fuck with
Like this
me.
thing
Yeah.
is Arsenio
Sidhu
Hall.
asked if he could keep the embroidery, and Emily from Sage screamed, "No, it's mine."
I have a business card that says "Stinky Bitch" now.
I've never been up this early. Did you guys know they have an 11 a.m.?
You guys made me do this so many times because
Also with me, begrudgingly, is a person who can see the future but won't tell me when my exes are gonna die. Sheena the straight edge witch.
This is like a famous actress, right?
that's Emily's comedy friend.
Go first, but I'm not going to tell you when.
Who's Earth Crisis?
That's the
I'm
Earth
sensing
Crisis
a lot of
T-shirt from Poser
hostility
Cop.
from
Yes, it is.
And my hoodie that I'm wearing this weekend.
And that's my witch hat.
That he's wearing this weekend.
Oh, another shrimp joke.
Honestly, it
Running
feels
theme
great.
of the show, shrimp.
Yeah.
And high
love it.
cholesterol runs in my family.
You're a monster.
Improvised.
Oh,
Yep.
did we
Speaking
buy
of
that Norma
spineless
Jean
bottom feeders,
t-shirt?
Here's my
Yeah, I
shit
still
boy,
have it.
2005 scene kid.
Just in case we ever do
Star.
this again.
Absolute star from the moment it starts.
Yep. Nails it.
Did you guys hear that Family Guy's coming back?
All right, shut the fuck up.
This
all right?
character is to a T every boy who ignored me in high school.
So fun.
We're here to talk on the real issues. Global warming. What is it? I don't know.
It means that we've poisoned the planet beyond repair, okay? Much like what you do to your body by drinking fucking cheap booze, eating boar's head ham.
Josh.
Who's very not straight edge.
No.
This have to do with
Yeah, I've
global
seen him
warming?
extremely drunk.
I saw that. That's it's an Al Gore movie, right? An Inconvenient Truth? Yeah.
Oh my God.
What the fuck were you doing
Such a
seeing
star.
documentary?
To be honest, I don't remember the plot because I was a little busy getting a handy from Elizabeth Sherman.
I forgot about the nautical star tattoo.
My favorite part of this shoot is me going downstairs with a Sharpie and instructing everyone on their bad tattoos.
Yeah.
Also, I love that there's a little Ninja Turtles
All right, global warming
lunchbox
is
on the
solved.
table.
Yeah.
Because
What are we gonna do about education?
she thinks that's handsome.
I think school is a waste of time, you know? If I didn't have to go to social studies, I could get the fuck out of this goddamn
It's the only class that's holding him back.
Social studies.
and my band, Break the Ridge.
Oh my! We debated so much about that fucking band
Yeah.
title.
That was
Break
a
the
line
Ridge.
that took a lot of direction too, because we were like, no, it's a cool name. You have to say it like,
Yeah.
because he was like saying it funny, but you were like, no, it's but you think
You
it's
think it's
very
sick.
cool.
Push, okay?
Break the Ridge was me and my friend Matt
I'm sensing
in
that you
Denver
are very,
made like
very
a
hard
ton
in
of just like joke
2005.
screamo music with a band named Break the Ridge because we were like, what does that even mean?
I had my fake shoegaze band was called Future Ghosts.
Nice.
And it was they were the band that was so shoegaze they didn't even have a drummer.
Oh my God.
Passion of the Christ.
Speaking of bands that don't exist anymore, my favorite thing about 2005 Scene Kid is that we kind of built like a weird little world where we can make all these jokes that we've wanted to make for a really long time that are
Yeah.
only for a very small specific audience.
Honestly, you
Like
should
he
feel
just
bad
kind
for
of
me
basically
'cause I'm the one
spits
that
out
has to
rejected
talk about
hard
you
times
fucking toilet
headlines.
Yeah, he's great.
Arsenio,
but
you look
also
like Mark.
a
How
lot
do I
of different
fix my
ways to say
iPad?
dry hand job.
I threw it at my dad
Which
while
was
I
another
watching
debate
UFC,
we had.
and now
This
it's
is
viruses.
my Lucy's such a star for that line.
That's the funniest joke in the world.
Try
Yep.
putting it in rice?
Did I try? But obviously I tried putting it in rice. It doesn't fit in the container, asshole.
And then putting it on top was Emily's idea in the moment.
Improvised.
Right?
Yeah.
That was so
Amazing.
And then she took a bite out of it.
Yeah.
But we cut
In the
that.
future of
No, we
the
didn't.
iPad, and it's gonna be
Is it still in there?
You just have to stop downloading
Nope.
Korean revenge films.
Yeah, I edited this. I know that.
Yeah.
Who uses Kazaa anymore?
I do.
What an unbelievable like.
And
That
It's funny
worked
to
so
put
well.
Gorsinio in a situation where he just gets to react to everybody for once.
I
Instead
love
of
being a
having-
little puppet.
Yeah.
When he starts just like getting into his cheeks and just like shaking like a hamster eating an Eggo waffle, it's the craziest thing in the world. I love it.
Does she? Did you leave the cut of her biting it in the
It's
one
in the
that's
Facebook
released
video.
separately? The individual
Yes,
one.
the individual
That's why
one.
I think
Individual
it's in
one is there.
Yeah.
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 I don't remember why we cut it.
No, you shut it off by accident. I'm not kidding. That's what
Yeah, it
happened.
sounds about right. Yeah.
has two-wheel drive.
This
You
was
exported this at 6 a.m.
This was one of the. It's true. I did.
Dick sex is such a funny one.
This is one of the last ones that we did before Facebook introduced like queuing, which is kind of crazy that they needed 18 years to do that.
Bill Murray beat his wife.
It's true.
It's true.
Grow up.
Well, I learned nothing from you, buddies. Sheena, thank you for this delicious-looking vegan hot dog.
Vegan hot dog.
So fun. Funny thing, literally, Chloe, Vegan Foods just
Good luck with
has vegan
Hurricane
hot dogs that
Katrina,
are
I guess.
literally a carrot.
It's so funny.
Here's a fucking commercial.
It's dumb. That's
Yes.
Yes.
This was the day before this was supposed to come out, I think, right? We took her outside and just had her swing the sword around.
This was supposed to be another cameo that fell through. I don't remember who.
Yeah.
But so we shot this in like 5 minutes, and like Jordan did right before recording the podcast because we had your mics. He did the voiceover, and then you guys didn't know, but when I got home and finished editing the episode, I bought honorableSwords.com. And surprised y'all with it.
And then
Miss Eves.
I remember putting the adults only on the bottom being like a big eureka moment.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
We had to do like 14.
I love all
Yeah.
these tattoos.
But we had to do like 14 takes of it because two of our camera people were dingos.
That's my favorite stupid thing.
I love it so much.
Welcome to the stage, Miss Eves.
This riff is the best.
Thank you, Jen, for drawing a Snoopy on your neck.
Miss Eves is the guest we've had on the show that I've had random people who I meet later be like, oh, I know somebody who was on your show. Everybody knows them. It's amazing.
Yeah, she's very popular.
So cool.
Yeah.
Are you nervous right now?
A little.
You should be.
She wrote a theme song for Nick Kroll's show Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Do you
Good
have
for her.
any interest in listening to a
She's so
self-proclaimed
talented.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the
song
nicest
about
person
cats?
whenever
Yeah, I felt so bad that we put her in this
There's a lot to
literal
unpack
hot
there.
seat.
Yeah. I met a random punk in Mexico
There's a
City
male feminist.
who I was
He
talking
made
to
songs
about
about
like
cat
the hard
calling.
times
Oh,
and
this is a real
shit.
thing.
And then I was like, yeah, and I work on the show
real.
2 minutes later. And he's like, holy shit, my friend Miss Eves was on that. Random punk in Mexico City.
Rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she does real DIY touring. Like,
All over,
Get the fuck
yeah.
out of this, please.
the first time I saw her was at my friend's drag show in an old sports bar. And
Yep.
she like performed to like 5 people and just fucking killed it. It was
Yeah.
so good.
I feel like we can't stress this enough. These are all real YouTube comments, and what we do is we go to artists' YouTube pages and just look through for the weirdest stuff. Like not because there's so much mean stuff, but it's like the weirder stuff is always better. But you read too many YouTube comments, you just like gotta go outside and pet a dog, man. YouTube is the worst.
YouTube is the darkest corner of the comments section.
Yes.
Yeah.
People really working some stuff out on there.
Yeah, as will probably happen at the bottom of this video.
Yeah, well, eat my ass.
This
If
Emily
someone
is
tells you
a
that he
star.
Is not a fuckboy,
Here.
what is the likelihood that he is in fact a fuckboy?
Yeah.
I would say 105%.
Honestly, that's stupid because there's only 100.
Yeah. Other than
Wait.
Good thing you rap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
everything
So funny.
other than the YouTube comments is improvised. Emily is so
Fans
funny.
wanted to know,
Yeah.
how come
God.
Your hat says slut. You're not wearing it now, but you have a hat that says slut.
It actually wasn't my hat. It was my friend's hat that said slut because she is a slut.
So good.
So it wasn't ironic.
No.
Can you explain what irony is?
She's so nervous.
Oh my God. So funny.
You can hear me and Jordan scream laughing.
You can
Oh
hear
my
all
God.
Oh yeah, the phone.
yeah.
Oh my God, just
Oh, it's not even
unplanned.
Unplanned.
the expression of one's meaning by using language that normally signifies the opposite. Thank you, sir.
What's his blog, Heavy New York?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
While you have
I
his
think that
phone-
guy works for.
I die.
I died. I
Hear me.
exploded.
Yeah, this was the funniest thing that's like ever happened live on this show.
I wonder was it really gross or mean?
What?
What she
Oh,
reads?
I think she reads the actual.
It was just. It's
Can
just
you read the last text message that
a
you sent?
work thing, I think.
Sure, I was just talking to my coworker.
Great.
Yes. Ooh. Oh, that ain't funny to me at all, but whatever.
I think it's just a genuine like, yeah, that's not funny.
Your life is sad.
Yeah, that is the. That's Alex who runs Heavy New York.
Yeah. I can't believe he gave his
that.
phone to comedians.
Real amateur
Brave.
move. Don't do that.
No, that dude's playing 3D chess. It's
I
crazy.
don't think that's masturbation.
No, I don't think it's possible, obviously.
Well, can't you think outside the box?
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
Yeah.
What a star!
Right into the camera. High fives yourself.
Second self high five of the episode.
Why
Yep.
the fuck is it not about Wednesday?
It could be about Wednesday if you're masturbating on Wednesday.
Why would anybody do that?
Why wouldn't anyone do that?
Masturbating is done on Fridays.
That's canon now.
Yep.
It's
If you're
the
jacking
law.
off any other day of the week, go to
Jason's
jail.
gonna come kill you.
Yeah, Jason's gonna come.
Oh, Jason came.
Bodies are just bodies. That's
On
cool.
Friday.
Poop is kind of
Yeah.
gross.
Why do they call it
You're
coming?
aware that poop is not part
Don't
of
do
the
it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. That's our joke, Jeremy, for our solo project. Oh, I love that. These
Sorry for
rules.
putting myself-
Yeah.
She rules.
Sure,
Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
It's
while
in
you do-
Nirvana font. Just a Nirvana score. It's fun.
Out now. It's out
Also, those French fry earrings are so sick.
Yeah.
now. Pubic hair, because you should do whatever you want.
She has such good music videos.
Yeah.
Rob made a really great music video for her.
Yeah.
About how
And-
much it sucks to
Well, this has
work.
been, like,
Yeah, and she
Freelance sucks.
Yeah, she texted me a question about editing like the day afterwards. She's like, "Hey, how would you do this?" And I was like, "Oh, well, I would just like it was something about like compressing footage or something." And I gave her like a very small technical advice thing. And I was like, "Let me see a cut when you have it." And she sent me a cut the next day. She edited her own music video in like 12 hours. It's
It
just
kicked ass.
and it was like 99% done. And I was like, "Holy shit, good for you."
Yeah, she does everything.
Oh my God, the
Punisher!
This was our dream character for a long time.
This is a character I pitched for Poser.
Yeah, this is a Poser Cops character. So was 2005 Scene Kid.
Yes.
2005 Scene Kid was supposed to be the Terry of the show.
Yeah. And this was a really nice security guard at Coney Island who let us do this.
And this is Rob's grandfather's leather jacket.
And that's my Spider-Man ice cream pop.
Guys, I'm your host Frank, the Punisher. Just kidding, guns are bad. They killed my wife and daughter. We're here with
The sound cues kill me.
I love that you guys found that reality show TV metal bowl sound effect.
Yeah, I found it just on YouTube.
My whole entire life. Yeah, usually I interview guitarists, but I'm making an exception for my dude Braun since we're.
We got the drummer from Mastodon. Are
Yeah.
you happy?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. He was a really nice dude.
Yeah, the best part of this sketch.
This is not planned.
This is not
This
planned.
is not planned at all. This is real.
So yeah, Braun. We're all like,
But yeah, the best part of the sketch was when we finished shooting and then we all immediately actually turned into the Punisher.
What these things are?
Well, he wanted to hang out, and we were like, "Why did you do this with us? You're too famous."
It was like Mastodon's really cool.
I loved
Red like the blood of my family.
this entire everything that happens after I tell the guy, please give us a minute, is improvised. Like there's nothing written for this.
Yeah.
We had a small window and had to make it happen.
There was like little we had
we cut all of those.
Not the lines, but we had like
bullet points.
Bullet points essentially of just talk about the drums and like call it a rig or something like that.
Yeah, I mean we didn't go like 100% planned, but basically the idea was like.
Oh wow, we just cut a hole in the street over to my house.
Yeah, so this is all improvised right here.
And like we didn't give him any direction or anything. We were just like, this is gonna be an interview and do a thing. He knew like immediately to just like play against you,
yeah,
and not try to be funny.
Yeah, one of them was named Michelle.
Oh wow, that's a cool name.
Idaho. Yeah.
Is that real?
You know Idaho, the place?
No, the name.
Yes. The little.
The best part is also in the middle of this. Les Claypool walks through.
Yeah,
because there was during their Primus tour, and Les Claypool just went, "What the fuck?"
No, he's Les Claypool. He doesn't curse. He goes, "What is this malarkey?"
No, he literally went. He looked at me and Braun, and then everything, and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then just kept walking through. You don't remember that?
No, I remember it vividly. It was before we were rolling, and I was so mad that I wasn't rolling. He looked right at the camera and said, "What is this malarkey?" And then he got on a penny farthing
he said
bike.
fuck, because I couldn't believe he said fuck. But yeah, it was just really funny to make the weirdest person in music question reality for a minute.
They don't do effects. It's just.
That was fucking stupid. You guys are just one of my.
Trauma's so funny to me, you guys.
Yeah, I had never heard the term a Punisher before this. Where did you hear it?
I honestly I learned it from the Mutoid Man tour I did.
Yeah.
Because they were watch out, there are when we went and did our Halloween show, it's like there's a couple of Punishers out there.
Yeah.
And then I sort of realized what was going on. I was like, oh, because it's going to be hard to load out when we get stopped.
That's all the time we have today out here, guys.
The original idea for the Punisher was going to be eventually Mike Abruzzi was going to break from in Opposer Cop season and transform into the Punisher, and then I have to get a new partner, and then for the rest season 2 Mike Abruzzi is the Punisher.
All right, music sucks, but War on Women is not the worst.
That's a compliment.
Only compliment.
This cover is so fucking good.
It's sick.
They wrote this themselves. This is one of the
I get emotional.
2 covers that I didn't help anybody compose, I think.
Let's go, girls.
They did this all independent.
Yeah. It was their idea, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is what they wanted to cover. And it whips ass.
It's so good.
Yeah, everything that War on Women has ever done for our live shows or this episode, that's their cover. Because they're creative people.
I think this was also the first episode where we had Callie, who did the pilot back as a camera person. And it's awesome because she understands music, and so those snap zooms that are on time are because of her. Because everyone else that works for us is a human calculator. And I love them dearly. And they're not listening to this.
Yeah, they're dorks.
Yeah. So are
we
we.
love you. We love our dorky cameramen who can't dance, so, the snap zooms are off.
Yeah, My Left Foot, the musical. Man, Shauna's so cool.
So cool.
Wish she was here.
Was this before or after Fest?
This was way before Fest. This is the first thing we ever did with
We shot this on June 25th, 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, this was so
And then the episode dropped in August, the day after we shot the Halloween episode.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Yep. It was a very nice week of not sleeping.
Yep.
I remember we really
Yeah.
struggled to make the set look different from 2 minutes, but I think we did an okay job.
We did a great
it's
job.
still clearly St.
There's
Vitus.
but there's like strangely some like earth tones because we got that white speaker.
Yeah.
And there's like a brownish cap. Also, the me and Desiree spent a really long time writing Start Today in tape. Because for some reason we couldn't get the letters the same size. Like I really want to say we spent an hour doing that. Steve Brodsky cameo.
Yeah. So then I guess it must have been like, it might have been a Converge tour that was happening then. I don't remember.
I don't know.
what it was.
Steve
Yeah.
was just like here, but the rest of the band. Was.
Yeah, the
Right.
gang.
It was Ben who was
It was-
gone.
yeah.
Yeah, Ben was touring something.
Ben and and Nick was doing sound for somebody. Yeah.
Yes.
Look at this fucking presence. And then Shauna sits on my head. I met her that day.
Kevin loves it.
Yeah.
That's why he's married to such a powerful woman,
Yeah.
Julia Roberts. I love how everyone's so hammy during this.
I know.
I love it. This is like a song I never would have listened to the Katy Perry version, and now
Yeah.
this whips so much ass.
Because isn't the Katy Perry version is like a very like
slow.
It's
Yeah.
slow and like almost like plodding.
But it kind of works because it is that little like pinchy guitar riff, but like slow it down like 5 times. It like makes sense. This cover makes a ton of sense.
We did not have to prompt anybody to go fucking bananas at the end of this. Sometimes you have to like coax a crowd into like, because like you're sitting and it's weird to be sitting and watching music. You have to coax them into like acting like it's fun.
Yeah.
And this took no effort at all. Everybody literally like
Chelsea
let-
Wolf.
Chelsea Wolf.
That very strange line at the bottom is because I accidentally. This was a shot at a weird angle, so I cropped it, and it originally was in front of a map of Boston.
Yeah.
And it looked like shit, but I forgot to resize it properly.
Thank you to Miss Eves.
Katie.
Where am I? Oh, yeah.
And thank you to
My
all
hair
the
changes
dumbasses
so
that
often.
didn't help me
Yeah.
at all.
And I
This
also
is my
refuse
I love
show.
this.
I did all of it. This was me, and I'm great.
This is where we wrote a line for her to discredit us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't want to say suck my dick, and we were like, you have to say suck
you
my
have to say
dick.
suck my dick.
Oh, that's my friend Jenny. She texted me, messaged me on Instagram, was like, hey, can
This
I be in
is
an
such a
episode?
funny
And we were like,
bit.
yeah, I have the perfect thing for you.
Oh yeah, she does the
Yeah.
art styles and then spits on the picture.
Yeah.
I love the stack of headshots we printed out
Yeah,
for this.
these are real headshots, and you can't really see them on camera, but it's a very fun photo of Melissa with the
shrimp.
The shrimp, yeah, photo I took of her on a roof.
I love spitting on it instead of signing
the
it.
double
It's so funny.
spit.
The flex is don't grab my pussy. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was trying to see what it was because
That's Warren Women merch, baby.
Yeah, but the way that
Available
it's
now.
like behind people, I was worried that it just looks like a regular "Don't Tread on Me."
I think,
but you can see it.
I think if you've watched, hey, we gave your wife a credit, dangerous woman. By we, I mean me at 4 a.m.
And she gets a thank you in every
Yeah.
episode too.
Steve
because we used her. That's so funny, so good.
Yeah. And when we do these end credit things, there's almost no direction too. We're just kind of like, all right, do this, and then it happens, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm usually being pushed over.
Bobby Cilantro. I don't know his real name.
Les Claypool.
Improvised little guitar lick.
So good. I love that.
Oh, that guy was not expecting it.
No, that guy wanted to take that home.
I know.
Brooks shredding.
He's so good. You scared the shit out of that kid.
Nah. He's a fan of the show, and this like made his day. We follow each other on Twitter, and he also took some really cool photos.
Always hard styling wrong.
There is no wrong.
Yeah.
God, I love that episode still.
Yeah,
it's
really
so
great.
fun.
I think that's my. I don't know. I don't want to say favorite episode, but I think it might be my favorite episode.
It's the one I
love
show
it so
people
much.
if I like if someone's like, "What do you do?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's super concise and like very easy to get within the first couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It's like it's the most like self-contained, and that's why I really like it because it is a bottle episode. You know?
Right, and it's comedically cleaner than a lot of the other episodes.
It had to be. You know? That's what's cool about it.
I think it's still like you need it to tie into
2 minutes.
2 minutes a little bit. Like it's never the first one I show because I feel like even
It's its own thing.
It's
It's
its
a
own-
filler episode, but it's
Mhm.
a filler episode everyone loves. You know?
Yeah, well, it's just that there is stuff like there's so many references to like her like taking over the show or whatever, or
Right.
like when I appear, you need to know you don't know who I am kind of
Yeah.
thing,
But it does like it doesn't it only adds, it doesn't subtract.
Mm-hmm.
No one would watch this and be like, who the fuck is that kiss looking dude, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you watch like a British comedy and they like reference some sort of like former prime minister or something, and you're like, I guess I don't know who that is, but contextually I can guess it's someone.
Yeah.
Like you still enjoy the comedy even if you don't know who everybody is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. This to us is like this is our Pine Barrens episode, I think. Obviously not Emmy Award winning.
Yeah,
but
this is this is the one where we bury Gorsenio.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, we thought about, I think the fun part about this is that, we've thought about many ways to do this where if the show ever got picked up, like we would do like half 2 minutes, half Hard Melissa.
Yeah.
Like we'd split it up like that. We thought about, because that would be really fun. It's fun to do both. I feel like after we did this episode, after going so high concept with the Gina Gleason stuff, we were really burnt out. But I think doing this one like really put life back into us, and then it became really fun to write the Halloween episode.
Mhm.
I remember how fun that was.
Was this shot before or after the Hell Day?
This was shot after. This was directly after like the guys coming up. We're gonna talk about.
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna get into the
the worst. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. On
the Pearl Harbor of web series. Yeah, we'll get
it was
there.
really insane.
Yeah, it's definitely like in terms of the arc of like the behind the scenes of this show. It's definitely like the low point of the season in terms of like our
Strap in,
like,
boys. It's the
work,
big one.
You know,
But then going and doing this,
this
there's
really
a lot of
brought us back. Yeah,
yeah. Doing something like this, like really, like can get your creative juices back.
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest reason for that is that like it's just fun to stretch your legs and do something a little different.
Yeah.
Because we have always wanted to work with other bands, but we always wanted to make sure that we used Mutoid Man because we love them and they're our favorite. And we've always said that we would never do the show without them. And this didn't feel like cheating. It sounded like we found a loophole. Where we could work around them and they wouldn't mind. I mean, Steve showed up and he was happy. He had a great time.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, how do you change your way of doing things without alienating people? And I think
Yeah.
we did a pretty good job of that.
Mm-hmm.
There were some like mean YouTube comments that I had to address because truthfully, like people were like, "Oh, we want Mutoid Man, we want that." And it's like you're gonna get Mutoid Man. It's not like we fired them.
Yeah,
it's not like they realistically they fired us.
People thought that we had like a falling out with
Yeah,
them or
they're
something
like,
like
they
that.
left the show because they're whack as shit. I'm like, joke's on you. Wait 2 months, motherfucker.
Yeah, we'd already filmed those 2 episodes. We had that in our pocket to be like, fuck off.
I think we literally said it to someone. They were just like, when are we going to see Mutoid Man? It's like, we've already shot 2 episodes. Ben has kids. He has a life. Let him do his thing. He's in 3 million bands.
Steve, after we shot this episode, Steve just even made a joke. He was like, so how do I get my job back? It wasn't that. We genuinely did want to do something where like Hard Melissa got an episode because we just thought it would be fun. Like, it was one of the reasons I was hesitant to even be the host of the show is like, it sucks that I'm just like a white dude and there's like, it's just another show hosted by a white dude. Yeah. At the same, like there
but
is some of
really
that.
White. Because
really white.
Ghost.
Because I'm a little ghost Jew.
Yeah.
But it's,
Because he's dead.
this was a fun way.
Or a demon. It changes.
It changes.
But this is also what the show is like. We can do stuff where we got to use it to give a platform to just like a lot of female comedians and a band like Warren Women, who were smaller at the time. They got it's cool. We don't have a big. Like a big platform, but they got to show a lot of versatility. I don't think a lot of people we've talked to them and people are always like nervous to talk to Warren Women because of what the band is. It's an angry feminist band, so people are always like, oh, they're not going to be like fun or anything. And it's like, no, they can absolutely. They're so funny, and they have a great time. They'll cover Katy Perry like that.
Shauna, who published a book called Making Spaces Safe, is the same person who spontaneously decided to sit on my head.
Yeah.
She's a fun person.
They're very fun.
They're the best.
I think ultimately the thing that I would say to like that, I don't know, like I think people who listen to this and people who watch our show who make stuff and who are trying to make stuff, I feel like one of the biggest takeaways of this episode is like, there's sort of this expression that you use when you're writing comedy and whatever, where you're like, there's either meat left on the bone or there's not meat left on the bone. And I feel like you can never really truly know if there is until you've just tried to make the exact opposite of the thing that you make, but still be the thing you make. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, I think that it's like, as a writer, like such an insanely good exercise to just try to get as far from the thing you're making as you possibly can, but still be making the thing you're making.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being so hesitant about doing monologues, and finally we're like, oh, we got to do monologues now. How do we do this? And like, I remember specifically, we talk about so much about how like we love Conan, and Conan is like probably at least for me, my biggest inspiration. And that was like, oh, well, if we're gonna do like kind of evergreen monologues, we have to. I watched a bunch of Jay Leno shit. Help write those, because Jay Leno would do like jaywalking and all those like, like, hey, did you hear about this? Some guy ate a snake.
He literally does like wacky headlines.
It literally was like, I remember we were watching them on your TV, like just watching Jay Leno clips from like 1998, trying to figure out how to write a hacky monologue. But it's like, if you get in a rut writing stuff, try to write a parody of your own stuff, and that is, that's really fun.
Well, it was really fun, and also, we've talked, it's easier for a character like Hard Melissa to do the type of monologues that we would want to do. You know what I mean? Because I can't. That's the thing, is coming out of Gorsenio's mouth, like really mean monologue, like headline stuff doesn't work as well.
But I think in some ways we found a way to do Gorsenio monologue in. I mean, it's nobody's gonna see it for a little while, but in the episode that we just taped, in the special that we just did for Fest, I kind of feel like we managed to find a way to do a Gorsenio monologue that works.
Yeah, I think it's. Oh yeah, I meant like with headline stuff. Like he can still do jokes, but I think like that style of headline doesn't fit him well. So, it's always, if we were ever to do more season stuff and we wanted to keep doing monologue, like the monologue would go to Emily Panic, you know? Like the upfront, the Jay Leno stuff works better for her.
All right.
Final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts. I think it's a great episode. I think it's possibly the best one. I don't know. Maybe not.
The thing is, I think that, and then I remember there's the finale, which is...
Yeah, the finale is really good. The Halloween one's really good. I like it a lot.
I like a lot of episodes.
It's
of
like
this
having
thing.
kids. You're never like, that one's my favorite, unless one of your kids like pisses.
Unless when your
everywhere.
kid's a pro athlete, in which case you're like, yeah, of course, that's my favorite kid.
Yeah, dude.
He's
Scholarships,
making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Millions.
This one just feels special because, yeah, it's a world we got to build really together. And I think that that part is really cool.
Yeah, I would say like because we did the most rewriting on it, and then like sitting down and writing with Emily, and just like watching this one and seeing like, oh, that's a Jeremy joke, that's an Emily joke, that's a Katie joke, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the one. This is the one that to me feels the most like family.
Family.
Goodbye.
Hey guys, this is Drew. We actually recorded these commentary episodes in our Airbnb while we were at Fest about 4 months ago, and we were in such a hurry to get out and go see Real Big Fish or some fucking other ska band that we didn't do any plugs. I don't think we really need to do plugs at this point. You know how to find us. You know where to find us. It's a little weird. But the reason I am here is because I want you to know that just because we haven't recorded a podcast in a while doesn't mean we haven't been busy. We actually have shot 3 new videos. Going to be released soon. I can't tell you anything about them, but I guarantee you're going to really like them. So make sure you're following 2 Minutes to Late Night on Instagram, at 2 Minutes to Late Night, following us on Twitter at 2M2LN, subscribing to our YouTube channel. When those videos come out, you're going to want to see them because they are going to be so cool. Thanks for being a fan. Thanks for being a friend. Thanks for subscribing to our Patreon. And if you haven't yet, honorableswords.com. Check it out, and I don't know, Bernie Sanders.